And we are live. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Indie Game Showcase. This is our second edition of the Indie Game Showcase, and I am so glad to be joined with some amazing entertainers here. We're going to start with some introductions, and then we are going to showcase about 20 indie titles for you from the past, present, and future. So let me introduce my co-stars. First, Chalora, would you like to do some introductions?
I'm always first. The pressure. Hi, my name is Chalora. I'm a trans, non-binary woman drag streamer, member of Team Stream Queens. You can find me on twitch.tv/Chalora or on youtube.com/@Chalora, where I post every Tuesday and Thursday. Games from old to new, retro to no, that's retro is old. Indie AAA, and I go to PAX East and West, and I've checked out all of the indie games up and coming, and I'm so excited.
So fun. Yeah, we love going to these conventions. If you go to PAX West and PAX East and all these fun conventions, you can definitely meet some amazing indie creators. So please go and support them if you're at one of these cons. We're going to talk about that later in the show, but let me introduce my other co-stars. Caricature.
Yeah, hi, I'm also Chalora. But in reality, I'm Caricature. I'm the Queen of Draws Play. I do a lot of art streams, a lot of Pokemon, shiny hunting, and we also do a lot of games like news press event coverage over on my channel too. So if you need somewhere to go during E3, come over and hang out with us because we just camp and just talk about how there's too much space, too many space games coming out this next year or so. But I'm excited to jibber jabber with all y'all for a second year.
Yeah, and me and Kara, we did an amazing, fun little after show of the Game Awards last year. Kara does a lot of the live shows like I do myself. We're buddies and doing little co-streams, hosting these events and fun things. So if you like my content, make sure you go check out Caricature, but also everybody else here. Kiyoshi, we'd like to do an introduction.
Hi everyone, my name is Victoria Stone. I'm just kidding. My name is Kiyoshi Yorha, pansexual drag investigator, a drag king. I am also Twitch. I was at the drag showcase performer. I'm a drag showcase performer at TwitchCon, and as a drag king. And I am excited. What else was I supposed to say? Pronouns he, they, and yeah, I'm very excited. I also too was at PAX, both of them this year, which is wild.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got to see a whole bunch of indie developers, and I'm very excited to be on here. Thank you so much.
So happy to have you. It was amazing meeting you IRL, and you did an amazing job at the drag showcase. Let me just give you your roses because you deserve the twirling. I was gagged to this day, but also Kiyoshi is a good friend of mine, and we love doing some stuff with Borderlands content. They do amazing cosplay over on their channel, so please follow Kiyoshi. So should we get into our first well, everybody, let me do my introduction.
Yeah,
I am Nemesis.
I
I am Nemesis. I am the host of the Indie Game Showcase. I have been wanting to do, if you know me, you know I love like hosting these shows. I love award shows. I love the Nintendo Directs, the PlayStation Showcases. So there's not a lot of trans rep, there's not a lot of drag, there's not a lot of cosplayers doing the fun stuff over there. So I wanted to create the Indie Game Showcase so I could make something of my own, make something so pretty and beautiful and fun with trans, non-binary, queer inclusion of the on-screen of what we're doing here, because we're all doing some drags today. And then in the games, I'd love to show indie developers that are involved in visibility of queer people. So that is really my goal here, and I'm glad to be joined by everybody here. My pronouns are she, her. Yes, I was on the trans panel yesterday. It was fun and fresh, and we got the Zelda panel tomorrow. Be sure you're tuning in to all of these fun things here. But I want to get into the structure of this show. So we are going to be doing past, present, and future of indie gaming. And at the end of the show, if you were here last year, we are doing a Game of the Year award. And you in the chat will vote for who you want to be Game of the Year at the Stream Queens Con 3. So stick around, use those channel points, because I know it's hard to use them here on the channel. Y'all are lurking and stuff and don't really have a lot of stuff to use them for, but you can use them for here. But we're gonna start off with our picks. So it's gonna go Chalora, Kara, Kiyoshi, then me in terms of our little games we chose. We each have an individual pick of what we chose. And we're gonna start off with Chalora's, and then after the little gameplay trailer, we will show off and discuss what we think, what's going on. But yeah, I mean, let's head over and watch our first trailer. Little technical difficulties, but y'all know how it is.
Yeah.
Chalora, tell us why you chose Terraria to show off here at the Indie Game Showcase.
I chose Terraria as my like past indie game because that's what we're doing, right? Past.
Yes.
Mhm.
I've been absolutely in love with Terraria since I don't even know when. But I know it's kind of been this struggle I've had with people where they're like, I just want to play Minecraft instead. And I'm like, try Terraria, just try it. I love it so much. There's so much creativity. The writing, like the little tidbits and everything are so cute and wonderful and like cozy. And there's so much to do in terms of creativity, difficulty. Like you can do anything in this game in terms of, you know, whether you're a new gamer, old gamer, you want to challenge, you don't want to be challenged, you want to be creative, you don't want to be creative. There's so many options and there's so many things to do, you know, like you get this in normal mode, you can go and defeat up to 3 bosses, and then when you go to a certain point, which is all the way in the depths of hell, um, you finally defeat this boss, and it allows you to go into hard mode instantly. And the game completely changes all over again. So you have this huge world to explore, and then all of a sudden, the world is brand new all over again, which is so exciting. And there are so many things to do, so many different class systems and weapons and just collectibles to find and do. They've been updating this game consistently for over 10 years. I think it is 10 years.
Mhm.
And I just think that's such dedication. They haven't released any paid DLC or
Mhm.
anything like that, which I personally really appreciate. And they've been reworking classes, reworking weapons, adding new things. There's holidays. They do holidays. So like, you know, Halloween happens, they've got Halloween stuff going on, Valentine's Day, Easter, whatever it is. You know, there's always something interesting and exciting going on in Terraria, and the multiplayer just makes it even more enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, this game has been around for a minute. Like, let me tell you, I remember getting this game, one of my first games on Steam. It has been around a long time. I like what you mentioned about it not having paid DLC, because a lot of games falter to that lately. I like the addition from an indie studio creating content that is not against a paywall. So I think that's a good point that you bring up. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add about Terraria? Anybody play the game?
Yeah, I actually played it kind of recently, and like just literally for a microsecond with Aubrey at one point because they were streaming it, and there is a really cool feature. And Cholor, you're talking about like newer players and like even but that played and returned. There's like a really great feature in there where it's like semi cheating mode. I think it's called like either adventure or something, and basically you earn your way to like uh duplicate things. So it's not like you'll right away duplicate like 1,000 iron or something. You have to like build up and collect those and turn them in, and then at that point you could duplicate it and then get whatever you need from that. And I think that's really nice because it's like we get it after a while. It's like go out, collect resources and stuff.
Right.
And that's one thing that I really like. And that feature was not on there when I played it the first time. It was a grind to play. And
Yeah.
now it's like it was just so much fun for like even the small amounts that I played.
Well, and it's not just biomes either. Like there's pyramids, there's, you know, you can take the same character and all the items that you have and go to another world entirely.
Mhm.
And you can just there's so many things that you can do, and they've made it so accessible and enjoyable. And the cosmetics that are dyeable,
Yeah.
and the dye you can like get like color changing dyes and stuff. It is the latest patch that they did, the big one, they allowed like more like furry kind of content. So if you wanted to change into a wolf kind of character, or like you want to be a lizard or a scaly or a cat person or a fox, you know, like there's tons of options now. It's bananas.
I love that. Cosmetics, I really need in a video game to keep me enticed, because if there's no
Mhm.
cosmetics, I'm checking out. So I love the addition of that. I really love Terraria, but I want to move on to our next game because I want to make sure we feature all of these fun games. So this next one, when I tell you, I am so excited to discuss this one because let me tell you, there's something special about this person that made this game because they are so like talented in whatever they are doing. They're doing the right thing. So let's go watch this trailer. My God, that trailer! That was sick. Like,
Jesus.
Kara, please tell us about this and why you chose Detention for your past title for the Indie Game Showcase.
Yeah, so for people who know me and my content, know this is probably like one of the most outside of my comfort zone games out there. I don't play horror, but this has been a game that has been like on my radar for a very long time because I think it's so interesting to pair this almost like Silent Hill point and click adventure game with horror, but setting it in a real world like situation. So the game is set in Taiwan in the 1960s, which was when the country was under martial law. And so that like recontextualizes the situation and the horror of the game. And I will say I have not finished it because I'm a baby, but the thing that I really enjoy about it narratively is that it does this like really, it has this really cool narrative twist. I don't want to spoil for people, just go play it, but like it is one of the most thought-provoking games that I've experienced. I did at least hit the twist of it, but it really makes you think about how, you know, a lot of horror games set up the scares to be things that could not exist and aren't real and are otherworldly or, you know, out of science fiction or something supernatural. But in a lot of cases, there's a lot of horror that is in like real world circumstances and real world situations, which I think is a really interesting lens to analyze media through.
I'm provoked.
I mean, quite literally, there's something so beautiful about the horror of this game. I mean, if you look at the visuals, like on the screen right now, the visuals are absolutely stunning. I mean, for me, I know that I'm a big horror fan, and this is definitely going to get my purchase. And I know, speaking of purchasing, I think it's only available through their own website. Is it available on different, or is that the other one that they have?
I got this one on Steam when I bought it like last week. it was like $2.99. It's pretty cheap. Like
I know you can buy this and then another game with it, because that game is not licensed on other websites because they got it knocked out of the websites. But both of his games are really like stunning and very visually. Like, look at the like the visuals are stunning.
The visuals are great, and like it's the music is really good too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like if you're a Silent Hill fan, this is very much a Silent Hill nod in a lot of ways, especially musically for me. But also if you think that this is an interesting premise but don't necessarily want to play the game, and you're a horror movie fan, if you're watching Dragula and you have a Shudder subscription, there is a movie based off of the game, and I think the movie is on Shudder, but there's also a TV series that Netflix Asia did a couple of years ago. I don't know if that's on there, but I know the film at least is.
Stunning. Wow. I mean, I think there's something in music in a video game is so important to me, and I wish I could do an entire show dedicated to music, because like the score can really take me somewhere. I think recently I played The Artful Escape, and that's another indie title that is one of the best titles out there right now. And the score in that game brought me to tears because it is so just so beautiful and magical. So if you are a lover of music, you need to go get this game. This is Detention, available on Steam. I'm not sure of other platforms. Do you know any platforms it's on, Kara, or is it just Steam?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it's on other things too, but I know Steam for sure.
Well, let's get into our next game. Let's talk about our next one, brought to you by Kiyoshi. This trailer might be a little outdated, but Kiyoshi's going to tell us a little more about it, but we're going to go watch this trailer right now.
Can I transition? Can I make a transition sound, or have you done it already?
You can do a transition sound. I'm doing it right now. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Slay! Please tell us about Mist and why you chose it, Kyoshi.
Okay, so I'm watching the trailer, and I haven't seen that trailer at all for the remake, and it looks so good.
I
need to play it all the way
know!
through now.
Yeah,
Okay,
that looks
so-
incredible.
So I forgot to mention to them that I actually played like the 19 like whatever version of it, like 1980s version or whatever, and it's basically like point and click. But basically the same thing is here for like the remaster or rework. It's just obviously graphical updates. And yeah, it is Myst is just a really great game, a puzzle game specifically. Like if you ever played a puzzle game and it was actually more simpler than you thought, the solution was more simpler than you thought it was, and you were just too big brain for it. This game is for your big brain. You can think really, like big and go for it. And it's really fun too because like at some point everything just starts clicking and you find out new worlds and lands, and it is just like even like the older version, and I wish I got the exact dates, the 19 whatever version, like the worlds they've created is actually like amazing because they not only created like visually beautiful worlds but also like physically and scientifically different worlds too, because everything reacts differently in each different world and whatnot. And obviously, not to get too much into it, but um, that's pretty much like the thing the thing with the game. And story wise, like it plays very similar to like Elden Ring or like Dark Souls, where
Mhm.
you're not told really anything. There's a little bit of stuff you're kind of told, but basically, you pick up the story as you go along, and it's mostly through text and whatnot. And you'll really get a better feel of the puzzles and the ideas and the story from literally reading. There's a whole bookshelf that you essentially need to read. You don't have to, it's just going to be a little harder. But yeah, Miss is just a great puzzle game, and I really enjoyed playing it when I played it like last year.
Seems very cozy too. Like I feel like I could get like a little blanket, like with the lights off, and just like casually play it and like enjoy the immersion of the worlds.
I think once you get to a point where you can move around a lot, yeah, but I feel like some puzzles will just like piss you off just slightly.
Well,
Like,
me
you can't
especially,
figure
yeah.
this out.
I'm gonna move us
Watching
into.
Sorry,
What was that? Go ahead.
I was watching Kiyoshi play it and I was pissed off trying to figure.
Yeah.
Big brain puzzles. All right, I'm gonna move us to my selection of the past games, and let's go watch the trailer. We'll be right back.
Today, we stand up against NSR.
You are so naive to think that rock is still relevant.
We are gonna hijack their concert. Let's rock it. It's time we fight EDM with the power of rock.
DJ Subatomic Supernova!
Okay, I'm gonna just call it here. That is the trailer for No Straight Roads, and it is one of my favorite indie titles right now. When I tell you I discovered this game on one of the Steam sales, and this game is a thing of beauty. Like, just from the gameplay like, trailer alone, I am obsessed. If you love music, all types of music, it goes through every form of music. There's rap, there's synth, there's EDM, there's pop, there's rock, there's metal, there's like all these genres of music bundled into one game that makes a fantastic storyline. I am a big fan. I actually got to meet one of the developers that worked on this at PAX East, and it was so good because I was just talking to him and I was like, one of my favorite things I played this year was No Straight Roads. And he was like, oh my gosh, I actually worked on that game. And I was like, you have changed my life, because this game, what I tell you, is so good. And there's lots of queer inclusion, so I love it very much. And just the score, like, put it on your Spotify now, because it is a good score. And I was talking about this game recently in my channel, and somebody said they even have Christmas remixes and levels dedicated to this. So I'm rolling it out for the December season. I'm putting it back out because that's fierce.
The Christmas remixes are really good too. They're really cute.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. I've never played them. You can check me playing that out on my channel this December. But yeah, I mean, the gameplay is great if you like hack and slash, if you like... It doesn't take itself too seriously because it's kind of just like a funny like little music game, but the storyline is pretty good and the gags definitely do gag. So, and the character design, I mean, look at this girl on the screen, stunning. So if you want to buy it, you can get it now on Steam, the Encore edition. I think there was a previous version. This was released in 2020, and then they did a like remaster Encore in 2021. So you can get it now. But that is our past indie titles. We're gonna move on into our present and what we are playing nowadays. Chalora's gonna start us off with the next trailer, and we're gonna go start with this one.
I never meant for any of this to happen. All this bloodshed. All this chaos. Brother against brother. I feel like I'm trapped on a path I can't change. We used to be mercenaries. Then they called us criminals. So we became rebels. And now, a revolution. We didn't start this war. But one way or another, we're gonna end it. I'll do whatever it takes to bring my people home. And no king, no friend, nothing will stop me!
Damn, Shalora, that was intense! Tell us more about this.
Now, I know what y'all are thinking. Another cis white male protagonist. Listen, hear me out, okay? So I found this studio, Drake PAX West, and I was so excited because I've been a long time Fire Emblem fan. And I know if you're a fan of the recent Fire Emblems, you're going to hate me, Nem. But I really don't like personally how Fire Emblem has been going. In terms of like, you know, they're adding a lot of different kinds of writing and like this sort of like dating sim stuff, and like I think it's cute and all, but like I want to go back to my hardcore strategy RPG roots. Not to mention that Fire Emblem has not had a lot of people of color or queerness in their games, and they've given them plenty of opportunity to do so. Lost Idolins is a Korean studio that has kind of provided us that. If you could see in the trailer that black woman cast in magic. Finally, we see it. I love to see it. I'm so happy. I'm so excited to see it. And I spoke with the developers. The creative director has so much in store that they want to work on and so much that they want to give us. This game just came out in October, so please give it a little bit of good graces in terms of like, because this is their first game, and I think it looks really good for a first game, especially with like the graphics and everything. I haven't played much of it, unfortunately, just because my computer started to poop its pants. But what I did play was incredible. I thought it was so cool. You fight giant monsters, you fight all sorts of different kinds of people. There's a really intriguing storyline that kind of just hits you right off the bat. Like I'm on chapter 4 and I'm like, what is going to happen? I have no idea. There is a little bit of queerness, and I do have to forgive them on that one personally, just because like, especially again, like Korean studio, Korea just had their first Pride Parade this year. So in putting it into perspective, I think that's like pretty forward, that they even have queerness in the game at all, including people of color. So from an Asian studio, I'm really excited.
Slay. I mean, that was a great. So it's available now. Where can we get it? Do you know if it's on anything?
Steam. I think it's around $30.
Oh,
I think I also wanted to give us just a quick special mention to Vampire Survivors because I've been obsessed with that game. Just playing it on Xbox Game Pass and just like delving super deep into it into the middle of the night. So
I'm just gonna move on because you said nasty things about Fire Emblem. I'm just kidding. This game does look really fun. It does look really fun. I like that it's like there's a bunch of different playstyles in this from what I see. I like the little like I love strategy games and like stuff like this, so I'm a big fan.
The magic affects the terrain. So like if there's wet terrain and you use the lightning magic, it like electrocutes all the water.
Oh, okay.
Puts out fire. Like there's tons of cool stuff.
I would say
Slay.
too, like they graphically, obviously, like it looks really amazing. And when we played it, it was really simple. Like I could get into it, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun.
Sorry, there's a hair in my mouth. Let's go to the next game.
Yeah.
Let's dive into this trailer, brought to you by Caricature. Kara, please tell us about this cute game.
So this is Endling Extinction is Forever. This is, I believe, it's the debut title from this game or from the studio. They intentionally, when they made the game, they set out to make a game that would really make, again, I'm really into poignant indies, I guess, this year, but this game really makes you think about like human impact on the environment. So you play as the last mother fox on Earth after like late stage capitalism has destroyed the planet.
I got it.
And Kara's already, Laura's already going.
Yeah. And so you have to teach your baby cubs how to forage, how to survive, all of this stuff. And you have to run around, give them food, and deal with like, so there's like survival game mechanics with like keeping them healthy and all of that. You get to do a lot of just really interesting like mechanical things that I thought was really interesting. But I'm telling you, if anybody has seen Grave of the Fireflies and kind of knows what I'm talking about in terms of like, it is like one of the greatest movies you will never want to see again. Like it is an incredible piece of art, but it will put you through it. This is that game. So like it is one of the most emotional, like heart-wrenching gut punches of an experience I've ever played through. I do think it's interesting too that there's a lot of like juxtaposition of what human behavior is doing in like the side of things, and how oftentimes humanity is just as much of a victim in stuff like this compared to like what corporations are doing, because they're just trying to survive too. And you just get to see what humanity impact is doing to animals that we don't often think about, and you see it happen in like the way the environment changes over time, which is, it's a really interesting way to present a really poignant message. And it's also nominated for Games for Impact for the Game Awards this year, and I hope it wins.
Woo! Everybody go vote for that. When you sent me this game, when I tell you, I was like, oh, what a cute game with this cute little animal on the cover. But I love that there's a deeper message to this. That is crazy. I'm really excited to play it. I definitely want to play it. Do you know what platforms we can get it on? Is it on Game Pass? Like, where can I get this?
So I got it on Steam. I will say it is a little pricey. I think it was like $30 on Steam. It is only like 2 hours long.
Okay.
So if you want to put in some extra money towards your own emotional trauma, this is the way to do it. But I do believe it's on console too.
Okay, cute. I love the visuals of it too. I like how it's like mashup of 2D and 3D, and I like the environments of how saturated it looks. I will definitely be rooting for this for Game of the Year, Games for Impact. Like, I'm gonna be like, please win this. It looks so cute.
I think it's going to be like $33 for me. The $30 is going to be for the tissues that I also buy.
Yeah. I mean, if you've played Spiritfarer, like that game is an emotional gut punch in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And before I played this game, that was the game that made me cry the most ever, and this game topped it in 2 hours.
Love that.
So if you need to get a sob out, like.
Yeah,
I just play games that make you cry. Like,
yes,
I love that though. I love when you cry in a video game. I like when they can like do it. Like, give me a message. I don't want to be like running through dungeons and the same like crap like 300 times. Alrighty, let's head on to the next title. I'm sure people are going to be very familiar with this one. Very popular title, but Kiyoshi has provided us to watch this trailer. Let's watch it.
In a world where terrifying creatures rule the land, where danger lurks in the shadows, and where everything is out to eat you. 4 shrunken heroes must band together to fight the forces of nature and solve the biggest mystery that's ever come to your backyard. If they can rebuild the memories of a helpful robot, they might just be able to unlock the truth before it's too late. Starring the teams, featuring Burgle, Dr. Wendell Tully, the Brood Mother, the Koi Fish, and introducing Director Schmechter in an Obsidian Entertainment game that's out of game preview. It's time to go big or never go home.
Okay, Kiyoshi, before you talk about this, I need to tell you something. I remember seeing this game in like early access and being like, this game doesn't look too hot. Like, it's a little recycled, a little same and the same. But in that trailer, oh my god, they added so much more content from what I saw before. Please tell us more about Grounded and what you love so much about it.
Yeah, I actually finished it recently, and it was on my radar for a very long time, and I too like saw like the early access. It also didn't seem like I didn't see much of anything. I think I didn't really even touch into the story and stuff, and there is a story, and I think that's like the biggest thing.
I didn't know
about
there
the
was a story.
Yeah, and like you do go through it and whatnot, and you learn more about like why, even like why the teens are the way they are, and why they're even in where they're at, even on top of that.
Yeah.
I've been a big fan of like I played Minecraft, I played Terraria, I played a lot of survival based games, and Grounded was a really great, like refreshing game to play. Mainly because like the concept of the game, obviously it's like Honey I Shrunk the Kids, and it's
Mhm.
like things that we already know, and they become new things. Like bugs are now monsters, and you can uh and it has like a monster hunter aspect to it too, where when you kill these bugs, you get certain gear from them, and that gear does certain abilities and whatnot that help you in particular ways. And there was just more that I was uncovering, like mechanically, but also story wise too. And yeah, I think like building too and whatnot, they have like a tower defense mechanism too, where eventually when you fuck over the ants so many times, they're gonna start coming over to your base and start fucking over your base. And it was just really great because then it makes it so that like there's a reason to upgrade your buildings and whatnot. But yeah, that's Grounded. And I was
What?
a little worried too because like it is like Xbox published by Xbox, but I believe it's under their ID at Xbox, which Xbox funds indie developers uh, and then publish it on their platform through
Right.
Game Pass. Even.
Yeah, I mean, when I tell you, I'm serious. I didn't think this game had a lot of depth, but from that trailer and knowing there's a story now, I might have to dive into it. The customization looks good too. Is that like fleshed out, or is there not a lot of customization?
For like the characters and stuff.
Yeah, it
Or-
looks like they all look cute. Like I like the character designs. They look awesome.
So I mean, each of them are their own characters, so you can't really change out their like outfits, but you can equip armor and stuff onto them.
Okay,
And
cute.
that's pretty much the thing. Yeah.
Can you play in third person?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, this is definitely getting my play now because I love
You
playing in
play,
third
please
person.
let me know. I want to play with you. I
Yeah,
love
it
this
looks
game so
really
much.
cute. I am definitely down for it. We're gonna have to get a Grounded squad together because this looks really
Sure.
cute. People have been telling me to like try this out, but it looks really cute. I'm surprised at all the stuff they've added, but we're gonna move on to the next title that I decided to choose, and I think a handful of us here met the developer of this game. That is a very popular title on TikTok and all platforms. But we're gonna watch this trailer.
Cadavers, and no one else can make it in right now. I was hoping you could come in and take care of them.
I suffer no bondage but this rotting, weak, pathetic corpse. Look at me! Look at this pitiful flesh I am service to. But this body is no longer mine. I have my prize.
Well, I'm pretty sure everybody is pretty familiar with Mortuary's Assistant. I'm pretty sure a lot of us have played it or at least seen a streamer play this game. I will say the little PAX interaction we had with the developer, you guys met the developer at a different time than I did, but please, everybody, tell me more about your interaction with the developer from Mortuary's Assistant and how lovely it was, because you guys told me it was lovely before we talk about this game. I think it's just very important that we talk about the developers and how nice they are, so I just want to give a shout out to the developer of Mortuary's Assistant.
Brian is super sweet. He sat down, like usually when you get a media pass for PAX, you get to like meet all the developers or whoever you want to meet for those things. Brian is a solo developer, and with the publisher DreadXP, which all the developers we met from them are super sweet and kind. Brian, we were only supposed to meet with them for half an hour. They spoke to us, I think, for an hour and a half, and they wanted to know how we felt about like streaming and how like queer streaming is and things like that. He asked us questions. So like Brian is the sweetest, most down to earth person that you could meet for as a game developer. So humble and so kind, and we had the best experience talking with him about his game.
Yeah, like similar to Chalor, like he was really like asking us like like even like at some point he asked us about like queerness and like how we're okay with that because he was eventually talking about like how um people were giving him crap about like this is not how a mortuary assistant or like a mortuary assistant works, and which is actually surprising. Like he gave out that information. He said that like actual mortuary assistants like told him that this is actually how it's done. And then eventually he said that he got a lot of hate and asked us if we ever got any hate, and then was like asked us questions about queerness and streaming and if we ever get hate, what he can do. And it was just really nice. Brandon seemed like a very genuine person, as like a human, and
Yeah.
wanted the best of like the well-being of like another human, which is really nice to hear.
Yeah. Apparently being a mortician is a pretty secretive practice.
Yeah.
I just think that's like amazing to hear, especially because this game's impact on the industry, I think, is pretty major. Even being a solo developer on this title, being one of the best horror games to come out of the year, I think is pretty phenomenal. I definitely would have nominated this for game of the year for us if my other game didn't take the spot, but this is pretty spectacular. If you like horror games, I would definitely suggest playing this. There's 5 different endings, and you can play it multiple times and everything changes. They also have holiday updates. I played it in October for the first time, and it actually had some different mortuary like little accessories to the holiday season. I hope they do a winter one. I'm not so sure if he will.
Oh yeah,
but
there's a winter one.
Cute.
Brandon just tweeted about that.
Oh, cute. That's awesome.
Brian, sorry.
Brian, yeah.
But yeah, this is a pretty spectacular game, and I'm just so happy that he is getting the roses he deserves, and since he's such a good person, he definitely deserves it.
A movie.
There's a what?
There's gonna be a movie.
Of this?
Maybe.
Oh. Okay, we're gonna go to the future because I want to make sure we showcase these games before we do our end segment, so we need all the time we can get. But these are games that are going to be featured in the next coming years. They are not out yet, but all of the games recently that we just showed you are definitely out or coming out in December, but they should be out for the most part. But yeah, these are going to be our final ones until the game of the year, and in the chat, just make sure you're paying attention. We're going to do it when we start showing off the game of the year in about like 15 minutes. So enjoy these last little ones before the game of the year. I'm just gonna get us started, but Chlora, while the trailer is still playing, please tell us about this game. This game looks incredible. Like, when you said this to me, I was like, I'm buying this on launch, baby.
This game looks impeccable to me. I'm not a huge Dark Souls type player, but just the graphics alone and like the theme and everything really pulls you in. Like it is just, it's art. It's so cool to look at and to watch. And we rarely get to see, or I've never even seen a Chinese development company for gaming. It's sort of a rare thing to see, and for them to tell their own stories too of their own folklore, especially like Journey to the West and Wukong's story. And it's not one we get to see often. Like we obviously see Wukong in a lot of games, but we don't actually get to play or experience Journey to the West. So I'm super stoked for this game. I watch for every trailer. There's a lot of trailers out there that they put out. They've been doing some really interesting research into quadruped animation and like 3D animation, which unfortunately it failed. But you can check out their their research, what they're trying to do to get better animation for quadruped as opposed to bipedal enemies or characters into the games, and how they can better animate those types of enemies, because a lot of Dark Souls type games, a lot of the bosses are actually bipedal as opposed to quadruped. If you don't know what that means, I don't know, look it up. But I just think it's really cool what they're trying to do. And to see sort of an indie studio go with the Dark Souls route and have such impeccable graphics is really, honestly, very cool. The only downside I've seen is that like the developers are maybe not so savory, but I'm still excited for it anyway. And I hope y'all keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, it looks pretty phenomenal. I'm really into the gameplay and how it looks. Looks very like, I just love how fantasy it feels and how like cool it looks. Yeah, very exciting. Excited to see that next year or whenever it does come out. But we're gonna go into this game now. I just want to make sure we show all the games we have planned for you guys. So we're gonna go right in here.
Picture a city where technology and science go hand in hand with fun and entertainment.
My grandfather, Elijah Walton, had a dream to build the city of tomorrow. That dream is now a reality, and that city is Arcadia. A 43-square-mile metropolis where each and every citizen enjoys a life of luxury and comfort. Broadcast live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on every digital platform. American Arcadia. Control. Subject on the run on camera 4025. Interrupt broadcast immediately.
Listen to me. We can't allow Trevor Hills to escape under any circumstances.
Trevor. Trevor, can you hear me? Be careful and don't make a sound. Don't worry. I'm going to get you out of there.
How fun does that look? That looks so fun, Kara. Please tell us more about this title.
Yeah, so this is American Arcadia. So this got a lot of features during Summer Game Fest. I think the Tribeca Game Spotlight Festival that they did during that. So we had a lot of coverage about it over on my channel during all of that. And this was like the one game that after all of that, I was like, this is the one I would love to play the most, because it is very Truman Show inspired, but the developers took a lot of inspiration from really heightening aesthetics of the 1970s in the architecture, the clothing, everything, just making it like kind of like uber 1970s style, which I really love. But the whole thing, it has two storylines that go into it. So you have this whole premise of everyone living in this town is on a TV show, and if you're boring, they kill you. And this guy who's part of the show realizes what's going to happen to him soon, because he's just like an office worker and he doesn't contribute to ratings. So he tries to escape. So you play these 2.5D side-scrolling stealth escape bits as him, and then it will switch and you play these first-person like hacking stealth sections, and you play as the woman who is working on the inside of the production studio, who is like trying to figure out how to get him out of there and what's really going on with this show. And so you get to kind of hear the back and forth and play both sides of the story at the same time, which it just seems so cool. I'm really excited for it.
I know, it looks very exciting. I'm really excited to try it. I hope it comes out for something that I can play it on, because I love the playstyle. I love the reinvention. It feels like of new 2D games that are just like one platform, but it seems like in the new era of gaming, I love the reinvention of all these games that kind of take a different approach to how 2D games are played. Let's go right into this next one by Kiyoshi.
Diyan, kaloy chungna Philip Meapuro.
Meaji?
Perno na nyawak. Ije yang azo ikuhu ni angage. Ano si Lota din niya napet?
Kiyoshi, this game looks so cute. Please tell us more about this title.
Yeah, I remember seeing this title in one of the game showcases of this year, and yeah, I really just love the jump feature from like animal to like animal or like even object, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's definitely what drew me in. And then when I watched this trailer, even I didn't know there was like a music portion, which I feel like that gives me like Majora's Mask or like
yeah, Wind Waker, very that.
like Wind Waker, and basically you can make music and stuff. But yeah, I wanted to play this game because like it simply looked really cool, and I love like the way it seems like it would be a very fluid game and movement wise and whatnot, and I just think it's also so cute and adorable, and I really can't wait to play. And I believe there's also a story that is included with it as well, which I'm just very excited to like discover what that is.
I'm getting a sense that you like survival games. Is that what I'm getting?
I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, and like I do like there's something great about like I don't know, just building something and just like I don't know, learning about the world around you and whatnot.
Chalora, is there something you'd like to say?
I just want to say something super quick. I don't want to take too much time, but like play Lost Ember. It's very
oh
similar.
yeah,
it's not a huge game, but it's very similar, and
Very
it has a clear
cute.
storyline.
Ooh, very cute. Well, we're gonna watch this last one before we go into the game of the year. Let's watch my pick for future games.
Hey y'all. You've been reckless with other people's hearts for so long, Jala. It was a matter of time before you wrecked your own. Morning, Ma. Wow, Jala.
Hi, Auntie.
You pissed off your exes so much, they organized against you.
Are we flirting? Or are we fighting?
Come closer and find out. Time to cook. That's acceptable.
So that's my pick for games I'm excited for. This is Thirsty Suitors. I am so excited for this title. I'm more excited that the protagonist is not another white cis man protagonist. So I am very excited to see. No shade to anybody in the call. But I love the approach they're taking of this game. The gameplay looks phenomenal. It's like a mashup of like skateboarding and 2D fighters and rhythm, and the music is stunning, and then there's like cooking, and there is just so much beauty in this game. I mean, some of the characters are so hot. Do you see the guy on the screen right now? Like, I want that snack. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I think this came out last year at the Indie Game Showcase. We showed off a title that was revealed in the same showcase. So I'm definitely excited for this and that. I'm happy that they're taking their time in putting their love into this game. So it is perfect on launch.
I will also say too, with this game, the developers are like culturally representative of the
Right.
characters in the game. So it was like, this is a story that we don't get to tell that often through this media. So we have the control. Let's tell this specific story. So it's very culturally accurate. And I love that about it. And also the combat, you don't actually physically make contact with anybody. It's all like metaphysical and like emotional combat you go through. So it's a really cool mechanic.
Okay.
I love the chancla. I just want to throw that in as a person that is as a Mexican family. Even though my mom never did it, I saw my tias doing it, taking off that chancla, and that's something I definitely was like, oh wow, I didn't know that other cultures did that too.
Please.
So that's gonna be great.
It looks so, like, the sense of humor I feel like is definitely going to be really cute. Like, I love the way it looks, and it's just going to be phenomenal. Before we go into the game of the year, I do have a little surprise and announcement to make, a little self-promo about an indie game thing. So I am going to show you guys a trailer from a little ways long ago. It's a trailer that's like really old, but I am here to announce that me and 7 other individuals are going to be doing a revival of this game in my own indie game kind of sort of way. We're going to be reviving this game for you guys. I am the social media manager for this game. So if you want to join this up, it is going to be coming in January to February next year. It is a game called Lost Saga from 10 years ago that we're reviving, bringing it back. There's 250 characters, lots of customization, and it's going to be an amazing little time. I'm just going to show you guys a little stuff on the screen, but it is a 10-year-old game we are bringing back, an indie little studio of me and some people bringing this game back. They do all the coding, they do all the good stuff on the back end, and I am the social media manager of the game. So if you guys are interested in seeing a drag queen help make a indie title, you can definitely keep up on my socials for more Lost Saga news, and hopefully we can revive the community of a 10-year-old game. But I am the social media manager, which is pretty fun and pretty cool and pretty awesome, and I'm so excited to revive a game like this. But just wanted to put that out there because it is the Indie Game Showcase, so I'm showing you a game in a little indie studio together, me and my little friends. But what I think we're going to do now is we're going to show all of our nominees for the Stream Queens Con 3 Game of the Year. In the chat, the voting will be started as soon as I hit play on the first trailer, so you'll see all the games. But I'm going to have us watch all 4 of the trailers. We'll be back, and we'll talk about all the games afterwards. So let's go on over there, watch all of these games. Thank you so much!
We're called Neons. Sinners plucked from hell to do God's dirty work. But I'm finding it hard to believe we're in heaven.
Got 10 days here. New day, new mission from Almighty.
You think you can win me over by showering me with gifts? Good thinking.
Alrighty, everybody. I just wanted to show you all those trailers, and they will be playing on the screen still to let you know who we have nominated for Game of the Year. So, Chalora has nominated Princess Farmer, Caricature has nominated Tunic, Kiyoshi has nominated Cult of the Lamb, and I have nominated Neon White. And those are all titles available now, and we think are our picks for this year's Game of the Year Stream Queens Con 3 winner. So everybody, we can just chime in, talk about what we want to talk about the game. We have 5 minutes left. Go ahead, whatever you want. I'm so sorry to rush everybody, but like, I just wanted to show off our games and what we chose.
Should we go in order?
You can do whatever. You can just talk about how you love your game. I don't care.
I adore Princess Farmer. There's just so much like versatility to it. It's super queer. I love all the like the big beautiful bunnies. Like it's just, and the pronouns too. They the use of like neo pronouns. The music is so much fun. And the setting and the story is absolutely super enjoyable, fluffy, and well written. It's just a really good time.
I know you couldn't see it on the screen because I do have to crop it a little, but in the little corner it says all of the pronouns and their different pronouns and neopronouns, and it's very nice inclusion of it. I love the inclusion of this game. I'm just gonna like keep playing it on the screen. You can talk about Tunic. I know there's a lot of Tunic fans here in this call. I think everybody in here has played Tunic, so go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah, Tunic for me, I think part of it was the gameplay is incredible. The story is really fun. The music is amazing. But I also have to say that like the experience that I had when I played it was probably the reason why it was my game of the year, because I started playing it actually in Discord during Stream Queens Con 2, and only played a couple hours of it, let it sit for a couple months, came back to it, and then played it basically entirely like with Kiyoshi and Chalora along for the ride. And so like solving puzzles together and like doing these like really big overarching puzzles and like just finding little things and discovering little secrets together was really cool, especially for me as an only child. Like I didn't have that experience with siblings growing up, so I kind of got to have that like as an adult, which was really sweet.
Cute.
And as a person that has siblings and we played Zelda, it gave me the same feeling, and I was like, this is great. I missed this. And I'm really happy that I got to do it with you.
Yeah.
I love the revival of like the overhead, like that kind of adventure style too. You don't see a lot of those anymore. It looks
It's very much a love letter to like top-down Zelda, but with Dark Souls combat. And so and it's not like unforgivingly difficult. It's pretty simple gameplay to get your head around.
I know Cult of the Lamb was a pretty, no pun intended, cult classic this year. I mean, pretty easy pick.
So I actually saw this game when we were at PAX East, and we didn't get a chance to like schedule it with them or anything. I actually didn't even get to play it, but I did see it when we were over there. And literally this game, I've been obsessed with this game ever since it launched. I tried getting a code, but for the most part, the biggest thing of this game for sure that got me is the music. The music slaps so hard. And like I enjoy like roguelikes and like just basically like customize my game and just like trying to beat it through that. Like I played Slay the Spire, I played other games that I can't think off the top of my head that are also roguelikes, and like that game just like really like fed my soul with that with basically all that. And also there was like a management simulator, and you could get your community involved in. That was also really fun too.
I loved seeing that on Twitch.
Yeah.
Did you do it with your community?
I did, yeah.
Cute.
And, Corona made so many people eat poop.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
My pick was Neon White. I know it's nominated for some of the Game of the Awards this year for an indie title. I was pleasantly surprised. It's been a long day. My day just started, so it's whatever. Getting caffeine in me. But this game, I was shocked at how much I liked it. So I played it off stream because I don't I wanted to really enjoy the story. I like that you could romance some of the characters, kind of like Danganronpa and like some of those like romance type of games, but also the parkour and the combat system was pretty solid, and the story was really good. And I loved the art style of the whole thing. I just loved how it was kind of like Mirror's Edge meets like some, I don't know. It was just so cool. And then reading up into it about like what was inspired by the game, I was just so happy to hear. But yeah, everybody make sure you're voting for your favorite. We are going to be finding a winner soon, I think. I can't see the chat, but if someone won, let me know.
I will. I also want to say like that neon white looks really cool, and I think this is the first time I actually like listened to the trailer of the music. It sounds great. It sounds
The
amazing.
soundtrack is really cool.
The soundtrack was pretty phenomenal. I was happy I played it off stream because I could have my good headphones on and then just like really immerse myself into it. And I just love that like art style. I mean, every single one we nominated, the art style was pretty impeccable, and I liked how they're so signature in their own art styles. So, I mean, that's a big thing for me, is the art style is being a good selling point.
I've seen the first art style of Cult of Lamb, and it was not going to be a cute little lamb. It was going to be some demon that looks it looked cute, but not as cute as what we got now. But yeah,
I'm gonna go back, and it's not letting me go back to Cult of the Lamb. Hello.
Oh, the poll's almost over.
It is. I'm trying so hard to get Tunic up there. Fuck.
Oh.
It's done.
Is Princess Farmer the winner?
Yeah.
Woo! Slay! How fun is that? Who won last year? Was it Kara's game last year?
Yeah, Chicory won last year.
You almost got 2 full sweep.
I know. I was like, are we gonna get 2 in a row? So I guess we just need to pick cutesy games with animal characters with lots of gender diversity.
Exactly.
And different shapes and sizes and colors.
Yes. So thank you all for participating in the little poll.
Yeah.
How exciting is that for nominating our second one, our winner of Game of the Year? I hope we can do this again next year. But we are going to close out the show with our winner. Please, Chalora, tell us what's going on, baby. What's going on?
With me?
Yeah, where are you going? What's going on for the next couple days? Tell us about you. Say goodbye.
I'll be on some panels tomorrow. I'll be in the Animal Crossing Drag Race, and you can also find me on the multimedia panel with Kara and Kiyoshi and some other people as well. Toby and Charlene were super wonderful guests on the women's panel on Thursday, and you can go back and check that highlight out if you prefer. And they were the developers for Princess Farmer, and they're super, super sweet. You can also find me on twitch.tv/Chalora, where I stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday, usually, but not right now. And you can also find me on youtube.com/@Chalora, where I post every Tuesday and Thursday.
Perfect. Kara, would you please tell us about you, where we can find you, what's going on? I know you have a stunning panel tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, so you can actually see me in 15 minutes because I'll be on the next panel too.
Woo!
But I will also be in every other thing tomorrow. So we're on the multimedia panel, we're on the streaming and performing IRL. I'm moderating the Zelda panel, the final discussion panel of the whole con. And then I'm also in the Stream Queens Drag Show. But you can find me on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday playing Pokemon or whatever else I want on Wednesday. And then on Saturdays, we're going to start doing art again.
Woo!
So we're going to do some Pokemon fashion illustrations and some Draws Play streams. They're going to be fun.
Can we see you being a co-streamer of the Game Awards again this year?
Well, I haven't gotten the email back from them, but I'm doing it anyways. So
They don't usually email back till the day before. That's what happened last year. I was gagged. I was like, what the hell?
Please, because the Game Fest, it was like, I think it was the day of when I got the email for that. So, but yes, I will be. So
Perfect. Happy to see you. Kiyoshi, please tell us where we can find you, what you're doing, anything going on.
Hi everyone, my name is Kiyoshi Yorha, pansexual drag investigator, and you can find me at twitch.tv/Kiyoshi Yorha. You can also find me on YouTube at youtube.com/Kiyoshi Yorha. You can also find me on my Kiyoshi Yorha at reviews and vlogs, where I have a variety of things. But other than that, on Twitch, I stream 2 to 3 times a week. I cannot keep a schedule for the life of me, but what I can tell you is I could do at least 2 to 3 a week. And I try to stream basically just about anything. Survival-based games is currently what I'm into right now. So I'm thinking about playing The Forest, and then or not The Forest, sorry, some other survival game. I can't remember the name right now. And yeah, you can also see me in tomorrow's panels, that being of the multimedia multitude of multimedia Zelda panel, and also Animal Crossing Drag Race.
Slay. Thank you all so much for joining me. I am so happy and grateful to bring this back this year from the first year. I'm glad we can get another installment. I hope we can do it again next year, but I am your host, Nemesis Network, on Twitch, only Twitch, but everywhere else I'm Nemesis LaCroix. Thank you all so much for being here. My upcoming projects, I mean, I told you I'm going to be the social media manager of a game that I loved 10 years ago, bringing it back with a team of 7, so please be patient for the release of that towards the start of 2023. I'm going to be going live almost every day after String Queens Con for the next couple of days. We have some stuff to do on my channel, Nemesis Network, and I'm going to be on the Zelda panel tomorrow with Kara Couture. Very excited, moderator. So we're gonna swap spots in being moderators. Game Awards, and yeah, I mean, you can always find me doing something. I'm usually up till the ends of the night. But thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you everybody for joining me, and I'm so happy to do another installment of the Indie Game Showcase. Hope to see you guys again next year, and congratulations to Princess Farmer. And we'll see you guys next year, hopefully. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Nat.